up there in Tampa, and they were both saying how they got to spend time the night before with Nolan Arenado, who drove up. He got to play, and he got to play a little bit longer than he expected because he wanted 3 at-bats and out and then on the road. But 16 up, 16 down kind of meant that third at-bat came in the 7th inning. So he was in Tampa a lot longer than he expected.
Yeah, but you've followed him playing other spring trainings.
Yeah.
Has he always taken this many at-bats?
This many at-bats.
Like you just said, he said, I want to be out there. I guess we're kind of skeptical about it, but
it's a great question. He's always been a guy who wanted to play a lot. Okay. This many at-bats this early, the way he explained it was like, look, he put in all this work to be mobile. He put in the work to, kind of alter his swing a little bit and get back to a lot of that pull side power and comfort. And I think he wants to make the most of it, like get some positive reinforcement early on, see how it's working. That's something that he and the hitting coach Brant Brown have talked about. Brant Brown, despite all the stuff going on with, Nolan Arenado in the front office and whether he would be traded or not, the Cardinals' new hitting coach Brant Brown visited with Arenado during the winter, spent time with him, and kind of talked through a plan to okay, here's where we can get you to. What do you want to do from your swing? Where do you think it went wrong last year? What were you missing? What comfort were you missing? And they want to get back to that. That's something. So he did mention that, all right, get a lot of bats early, get a feel for it, see where it goes. It's not so much get a lot of bats early, get that rhythm going, and then crank your way through the end of March into a new team. That wasn't kind of the thinking.
And you're talking about an elite player in our team. Fringe Hall of Fame type of player.
Yeah. But probably a Hall of Fame player, right? 10 years, 10 gold gloves.
I feel like he's a Hall of Famer. We're not discussing Hall of Fame here.
All right, sorry. No, that's December.
That's December, it's off-season stuff. But my thought is the team wanted to trade him.
Yeah.
Whose spot is he really taking if he's still on here? That will push for that development. I'm not talking about, we'll sign somebody that'll be like it, because obviously they're not going to sign anybody. They're the only team left without a big league free agent so far, since the Marlins made a huge splash in the free agency. But whose spot is he taking?
It rocked Jupiter.
Rocked all of Jupiter.
It's great. So it's not linear, right? It's not like Nolan Arenado playing third cost this third base prospect playing time. It's more of a trickle down in the sense that with Nolan Arenado at third, then Nolan Gorman is not. Nolan Gorman is at second, so Brendan Donovan is not. Brendan Donovan is in left field, so Lars Nootbaar is not. So then Lars Nootbaar is in center, so Michael Ciani or Victor Scott II is not. So it really comes down to not so much a development question, but the classic conundrum of defense versus offense, Eric. This notion that all right, do you go with a best lineup that produces the most offense, because that's Lars in center field right now? Or do you play to the ballpark that you have? Do you prioritize defense, which we've seen the Cardinals do and excel at, a run prevention style, and then you have Ciani or the young prospect Victor Scott? And then you go down to the bench, where does Thomas Saggese fit in if, Nolan Arenado's at third and now there's one less spot on the bench? You have a right-handed, versatile, young rookie player in Thomas Saggese. Does he have a spot in the big leagues, or is his playing time going to be so minimal in the big leagues that they want him playing every day and continuing to develop AAA? So it's not like a direct line that's going to cost all of a sudden, Nolan Gorman isn't going to get 500 at-bats. He'll still get at-bats. It's more elsewhere and around the roster where those at-bats are going to go.
But this is my issue with the Cardinals. When I watch them, if you're rebuilding, you want to rebuild around guys. Mason Wynn's playing short.
Yeah.
Bang. We got it.
What's up, Dodgers fans? Welcome to latest Los Angeles Dodgers news. I'm Victor, and today we've got a hot topic we can't ignore. Nolan Arenado to the Dodgers? Could it happen, or is it just a dream? Did you see that Arenado Instagram post with Kendrick Lamar's song Dodger Blue? Everyone went crazy thinking it was a hint. But hold on. ESPN already poured cold water on that speculation. Let's break it all down, what's really happening behind the scenes and whether this is still a possibility. Before we dive in, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. That way, you'll stay up to date with everything going on with the Dodgers. Now, let's get into it. Baseball fire. First section, what happened? Nolan Arenado, an 8-time All-Star and 10-time Gold Glove winner, hasn't played in the postseason since 2022. And let's be real, that's got to be tough for such a competitive guy. That's why it seemed like he was showing interest in the Dodgers when he posted Dodger Blue as background music. For many fans, that was a clear message: get me to Los Angeles. And honestly, he'd be a perfect fit. He's one of the best third basemen in history and can still bring power at the plate. But here's the thing, according to ESPN's Buster Olney, the Dodgers aren't actually that interested. In an interview on Dodgers Dugout Live, he dropped a bombshell that pretty much killed any hope. If the Dodgers wanted Arenado, they would have gotten him. Ouch! That one hurt for fans dreaming of this move. But does that mean it's completely off the table? Let's dig deeper. Second section, the current situation. The Cardinals are desperate to trade Arenado. They're looking to reshape their roster and clear some payroll. He still has 3 years and $74 million left on his contract, and on top of that, he has a no-trade clause. That means he can block any trade unless it's to a team he approves. And guess what? According to reports earlier in the offseason, he had a list of 6 teams he'd be open to joining: Los Angeles Dodgers, San Diego Padres, New York Mets, Philadelphia Phillies, Los Angeles Angels, Boston Red Sox. Translation: he wants to go to a competitive team or stay close to home in California. Makes total sense. But if he's interested, why haven't the Dodgers pulled the trigger? This is where the front office strategy comes into play. Third section, why are the Dodgers not all in? Let's think like Andrew Friedman, our trade mastermind. Contract and age, Arenado is already 33. From here on, his performance might decline, and making a huge investment in him may not be the smartest move. Pitching is the priority. After signing Yamamoto and Glasnow, the Dodgers still want to strengthen the bullpen. Giving up assets for Arenado might not be at the top of their list. Third base alternatives. Max Muncy is still there, and while he's not an elite defender, he brings a ton of power to the lineup. Plus, Michael Busch is a potential option. High trade cost. The Cardinals won't just give Arenado away. They'll want prospects in return, and the Dodgers might not be willing to pay that price. So, is the door completely shut? No. But is this trade likely? Not really. Fourth section, is it still worth it? Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think the Dodgers should go all in for Arenado, or is it better to move on and focus on other areas? Personally, I think he'd be a great addition, but if it means giving up valuable assets, maybe it's better to invest in an elite reliever or a reliable outfielder. But what do you guys think? If you were in the front office, what would you do? Closing call to action. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to know what Dodgers Nation thinks about this. Don't forget to like the video, share it with other fans, and, of course, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any Dodgers updates. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next video with more Dodgers news. Go Dodgers! Blue Circle Baseball Fire.